that was a brilliant innings. The halfway stage, we definitely felt on that surface we had a very competitive total. It wasn't perhaps your usual surface in terms of here at Wankhede. It sort of held a little bit and was responsive to slower balls. So we thought that 180 mark was a really good target, and I think we saw that from our first 5 overs, that it wasn't easy to get away, and I think from that point onwards, that's certainly when that innings of Shane Watson really kicked into play. And I mean, anyone that turns up and gets 100 plus in a final is obviously a significant effort, a great contribution to their side, and very difficult to stop. So a fantastic knock that saw us side home. We worked hard and we built partnerships, and that's certainly what we wanted to do, and it wasn't the easiest, like I say. So I think I just mentioned earlier that it was a very competitive total, and it was on a knife edge, I believe, after the first few overs where it was tight and the run rate was climbing, that there were risks required, and if we were able to pick up a couple of wickets at that stage, which we have done throughout this season, then all of a sudden it takes a very different shape. But credit to the way CSK played. They showed their experience and got through that period and took the game away from us. I'd probably rather look at the likes of Shane Watson in terms of his innings. He did put us under pressure. You come into a final, and that is one of the things you do need to deal with as best you can, pressure. Everybody's feeling it a little bit, and he responded to it beautifully and put us under more pressure. So once again, the way we started with the ball was outstanding, gave us every opportunity, and there was a balancing point there which they ran away with, and I do think that experience that they have in their side was an important factor. Yeah, it was definitely a different experience. I suppose coming into the job, there were a number of guys that I hadn't met, a variety of cultures, which I think was something that I was looking forward to, that experience and some of the differences that we were faced. And it was enjoyable. We've got such a great bunch of guys in that franchise that give you their 100% every time you walk out onto the park, even in times where perhaps you're behind the game. We saw that character come through so often throughout the season, which is a real credit to the environment. And there are a number of other leaders and experienced players, like you mentioned, that offered so much throughout the season. So it was an enjoyable season, an enjoyable campaign. The game is such a fine line that, obviously it would have been nice to come away with the win, and I suppose for a large part of that, it was looking perhaps likely until that fantastic knock from Watson. So it wasn't to be today. Oh no, I mean, we look at the variety of surfaces that we played on, and I think that was huge in how our bowlers operated, and then we came on to some other surfaces and they perhaps a little bit better, and we were trying to adjust as best we could, and we saw even in the last game, so that was brilliant. Couple of games before that, and that is the nature of T20 cricket, is that it's obviously very aggressive. Players are looking to get on top of bowlers, and at times that can happen to anyone, and it is just one of those things. But he's been a fantastic asset to our side throughout this whole campaign. His death bowling is of the highest quality, and he's got a fantastic slower ball as well that he used very well. So the likes of him and all the other boys that were in our attack were brilliant throughout the whole campaign. He's a world-class player. We've seen that in this format. It's great that he's going to be playing some Test cricket, and I think he's a challenge for anyone, but an enjoyable challenge because he is right up there with the top spinners in the game. So it's always a pleasure to face him in the nets, and perhaps against him as well in the near future. So a very, very good bowler. But like you say, I mean, if the wicket's responding, like any spinner, that offers them a little bit more. But fantastic bowler, the full package, Rashid. So it was great to have him in the side, and he had a brilliant year.